This season on Big Brother, a group of 10 contestants comprised of former Colorado competition winners, newbies, and returning legends began playing in a holiday-themed season. Early on, Dylan wanted to get rid of Matthew, the secret contestant of the season, but the house instead focused on Carissa's all-girl alliance.
TESSA, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
Every round, one person would win the Rain of Ice power, which would either provide a powerful advantage.
I get to choose the replacement nominee instead of the HOH. So, JANAE, this seat's for you.
Or a dangerous disadvantage.
You cannot participate in the POV.
Okay.
But through it all, two alliances were created. The 2.5 winners and the underdogs, with former winners Riley and Carissa stuck in between. And after the two sided with the underdogs, Dylan was next to go, until Matthew and Carissa formed a final 3 with him and showed Riley and Ian the way home. Carissa, Dylan, and Matthew each have head of household and power of veto wins, and all have final 2 promises to each other. They've played vastly different games, but have held true to their alliance. Will Dylan finally get his revenge on Matt? Will Carissa become the first 2-time winner? Who will become the last jury member? Will it be the hero, the villain, or the champion who walks home with the prize? Find out tonight on the climactic season finale of Big Brother! We're gonna cut there.
Farther than I ever thought I would make it. I went in today with no plan, and I just kind of made friends along the way, and I love all the bonds I made today. Even the people I had to vote out, like Riley and Ian, they were all such good players. Or Andrew, or JANAE, they were all great players. And they're all right there. And so, now, I trust both of my final 2 promises, but I have no idea what I would do if I were to win the HOH challenge. But I know I can't throw the competition because I can't have either one of them think that I'm not trying to fight for them to win it. So when it comes down to it, I'm gonna give it my all in the competition, and then I'll worry about what I'm gonna do if I win it.
Alright, welcome everybody to the final HOH challenge. This is what it all comes down to. Carissa, Dylan, and Matthew. You'll have to balance a wooden plank and a tennis ball on top of it. This is very reminiscent of the challenge that Matthew did in season 3 of Survivor Colorado. How did this go, Matthew, on season 3?
I mean, I got second in the challenge. There was no beating Spencer because he just has stronger legs than I do. But I fell over at the end of it.
Alright. Well, guys.
I fought that hard.
Well, guys, here it goes. The winner of this will get the final head of household. This is for immunity. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Everybody looking strong right off the bat. Everybody looking very, very strong.
How many people know tennis was actually invented in the year 1872?
Shut up! Actually.
Oh, Carissa.
A little bit of movement from Carissa.
These gloves are slick. I made a horrible decision.
On the count of 3, you guys will each raise up 1 foot. 1, 2, 3, go. Dylan, a little bit of movement. Some heavy wind coming in now.
Can I switch feet?
No.
Okay.
This is a true showdown.
Shit, my foot went down.
Oh, Carissa is out of the challenge.
R.I.P. bro.
Right.
Carissa, we loved you. Keep making commentary.
Now between Dylan and Matthew.
I love the fact that we're standing up here. I really do, genuinely. Yeah, exactly.
This is a new one. You guys must put your feet down, and you'll have to remove a hand and put it in the air.
How high in the air?
Like just
Like you're raising your hand.
yep, just like that. Oh, Dylan really shaking.
Alright, now you guys gotta kiss.
Shut up.
You guys must put both hands back on the board,
Just pretend you're recording.
and this time you will have to extend with your arms the board.
And I did not deserve that one.
Now, fully extended, you must squat in that position. That's a power squat.
This is some invisible chair stuff. This is some Boy Scout stuff.
Boys got full legs.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
Matthew breathing heavily.
How much
That
longer?
mountain man instinct's coming out.
How much longer do they stand up?
All right. Matthew. 15 seconds. Rise.
You guys
Do you need some medical attention?
No, of course not.
Dr. Joe!
Can you get up?
Yeah, give him a second.
Good job, Dylan. Good job. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, I'm good. Great showdown. That was awesome.
Alex, the winner of the final head of household challenge in a nail-biting showdown was Dylan Reeder. Congratulations. You will have the option to evict either Matthew or Carissa, and then that person will come with you to the final two. All right? So you'll have a few minutes to do that, make your decision.
In for us. So
And,
good game.
Oh yeah, no
Good
matter
job,
what.
Dylan. Congratulations.
Okay, yeah. Oh my god, we did it. I made a promise to the beginning, and for a second I got scared I couldn't keep it, but it all worked out. I spent so long wondering if I wanted to throw that competition or not, because I had two people who I felt pretty certain were going to take me to final two, and I didn't want to make the decision, because Dylan made some decisions at the beginning of this game that made me kind of not trust him, but at the same time, Dylan Reeder deserves a win, and that man, like, I don't know, to bring final two with him would be an honor because I love him so much and we've been through so much. So I thought a lot about whether I should throw that competition or not. And then I was like, well, I'd have to put up at least a fight, so I'll wait until later to throw the competition. And then I just lost, so I ended up wasting a lot of time thinking about it for nothing, because I'm just actually bad at balancing.
I don't know if I have the votes outside of Andrew and JANAE. That's the only reason I wouldn't pick you.
I understand that. I told you I was going to play this game for you to win. And, I mean, I know it's shitty now, and it also feels like you're pity, but
Right.
like, if you think you have a better chance of winning if you bring Matthew, also, I don't know, final two boys, that image is in my head because we've been through so much.
I gotcha.
And it's so epic. But like, I trust you.
Yeah,
and
I trust you too.
I want you to
and I intend on bringing you.
I do trust that Dylan will take me to the final two. A very tiny part of me is worried that maybe he'll pick Matthew because he thinks Matthew is someone he can beat when it comes to the jury vote. Because we were all just talking about how history repeats itself. So if he takes me to the final two and he loses to me by a jury vote again, I don't know, maybe he'll just throw a curveball and he won't want that to happen, and so I'll pick Matthew.
I want you to try and win.
Okay.
But
And
if
we'll
you could
mention to the jury how
Yeah.
like it's not about who you know, it's about who played the best game.
Yeah.
And like genuinely.
I'd appreciate if you just mention that because I say
I'll drive
that.
it. Yeah, a little bit.
Because I say that a lot and it sort of gets like lost in my words.
If I do get to final two with Dylan, do I want to just say that I want him to win and be honest? Or at the same time, being a two-time champ would be like so cool. So part of me also doesn't really want to win because, God, that would be cool. Come on. But I don't know. Do I just throw it, or do I put up a fight so Dylan doesn't feel like he won out of pity, or do I put up a fight because I genuinely want to win? I don't even know what I want. So I think I'm just gonna genuinely like tell the jury everything, and they can decide whether I'll let them decide my emotions for me. Do I want to win? I don't even know. I'm content with final three, or I trust you to take me to final two, and at final two, like you said,
You'll
I'll
be the
put up
first
a fight
three-time
to-
winner maybe.
Alex will make the 3-time joke so many times. I can't have that. That would be hell.
I'd be pretty sad because I've been wanting this since July.
I want you to win. This is what I'm thinking right now. Who knows? He could throw a curveball. I mean, I couldn't even make it to Final 2. But either way, Final 3 is so much farther than I ever planned on making it. And I've made so many bonds with like Riley and Ian, and especially Matthew. Me and Matthew have gone so close this whole game.
You could be BSing me right now, but I'm still thanking you regardless.
Okay.
So even if you are, you don't have to say that stuff, but if you're being genuine, then I appreciate it.
I'm being genuine, but I can't prove that. But
yeah.
we've taken enough time.
All right.
I think we know where our heads are. So happy to have the pleasure to play with so many great people, and it's been such a great season. Whatever happens, I will be so content with third.
That was intense.
Yeah. That was a good showdown. If that's the end of the game for me, then I did everything I could.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just want to let you know I'm not fully decided.
Sure.
I told you that because, management in case, wind screwed up my ball,
Right.
That's part of the game.
Yeah, I understand that.
I told the same thing to Carissa. If Carissa won, she would take me. It was just part of the game.
Yeah.
And
We all had Final 2 deals with everyone.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
So that's totally fair.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I know you probably won't have an honest response to this, but if you had won, would you have taken me or Carissa?
I would have taken Krista.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I had like a stronger Final 2 deal with her. Is what I felt like. So.
Okay. See, at this point, no offense, but it's about winning the game for me. I've already gotten second place. I got third place in Big Brother. It's about winning the game for me, and it's about who I can beat more.
I'm not gonna try to downplay my game necessarily, because I don't think that's gonna work with you. But I think Carissa's game is strong, and I think
Stronger.
I think just counting on the fact that she has won before
would be
won't necessarily be like the deciding factor. I can see how that'd be a benefit in your favor, absolutely. But I don't know if that's enough because she played a great game today, considering she was struggling at the beginning, just like I was. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone was kind of struggling at the beginning because none of us.
I was not struggling at the beginning.
You weren't? Okay.
I wasn't a target until Grand. I had that power veto.
Oh, okay.
This is probably you don't care at all, but I was the liar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what most people were telling me. So that was what I was kind of leaning toward. But I was just like, let's just put them both up there and see what happens. You know what I mean?
So basically, I don't think Andrew flipped the vote, but I think it was just a big misunderstanding, and some votes got onto TESSA because Riley didn't understand what was happening and Ian didn't understand what was happening. I was just BSing.
Sure, and yeah, I knew someone was, so I appreciate you being honest with me at this point. Yeah.
I appreciate your moves in the game, and I'm definitely going to consider taking it.
Sure, I appreciate that. Yeah, I understand if it goes either way. I don't know. And I feel like Carissa's gonna fight harder than me, because like I told you at the beginning of the day that I wasn't necessarily here to win, and I don't want to say that if I'm in the final 2 with you that I'm just gonna lay down and win or something, but Carissa's not either. You know what I mean? So I don't. Yeah.
Alright guys, after an amazing competition of epic blindsides, brutal backstabs, it has come down to this. The final 3, Carissa, Dylan, and Matthew. I would like to bring in the 2 icons that have been in this game so far today. We used to have 3, but unfortunately, Cade had to leave. Jules and Chris, the Ice King and Queen. What did you think overall of the gameplay today?
Holy crap. Take Big Brother 1 and then just add sugar and spice and then crap and backstabbing and kill them and all that and mix it up and then put it away because that's not even enough for what just happened today.
Pretty much all that, but like, yes.
Great. All right. Very wise words from our Ice King. Dylan, you will have to make the decision to vote off one of these, and then we'll have the final 2, and we'll do the final jury session right there, and then we'll vote, and then we'll have a winner, just like that. Carissa, Matthew, I would like you guys to just give Dylan a final plea as to why you should stay.
I'll go first, left to right. Why not? Okay. I don't know. At this point.
Okay.
No. At this point, I don't think anything I can say is off the table. It's final 2. I made a promise to you before the game started that like you and me were gonna ride it out, and I got scared a lot with you and Andrew, and with, you know, there were places where I didn't know how safe I felt, and I still wanted to keep you in no matter what that meant. So when it meant reforming this alliance of the three of us, that ended up being such a good idea. I think we've been through a lot, and I think we helped each other a lot in the beginning of the comp, and we've helped each other a lot in the end of the comp, and we've helped each other a lot in past comps, and I don't know, I'm super content with third too, but I'm hoping,
Say no more now.
you know, the fight I put up and the loyalty I've shown to you counts for something.
So I guess I definitely don't have the same kind of story with you because our history over the competitions is different. It's not as long, and it's been rocky, obviously, with over the course of the Survivor, and then even over parts of today. It's like wasn't sure where we were standing, but there's something fitting about the two of us being the final two. I know this is the way I would want to play as far as like the fitting storyline end to what's been, you know, a two season story really. This is not a one season story for either element. This is a 2 season story, and it's going to be a fitting end either way. But I just think it'd be really cool to be sitting up there in the final two with you. So I'm not going to do anything to try to throw Chris under the bus because I have a lot of respect for her game.
Don't do Matthew.
So
he's not been the coolest dude ever.
like we talked about before, you're gonna not have an easy road in the final two either way. So this is a tough decision for you. So I would just love to be sitting up here with you.
Dylan, now it's time for you to choose either Matthew or Carissa to come with you to the final two, where you guys will plead your case to the jury to win. So, Dylan?
Both of you, I've listened like completely. I have so much respect for both of you, and I'm so glad I got to play with you guys because you're both amazing players. For just winning reasons, I want to put myself where I can be in a winning position. Matthew, you're the last person.
Understood. I appreciate that.
Good game, bud.
For a second I thought it was like, Matthew, you're coming to final two. And I was like, I didn't know I was that big of a threat, so kind of flattered. God, it's so amazing.
Yeah, it has.
We made it final three.
Here I am again. Once again, I'm the last person eliminated from a competition right before the final jury session. It's not tribal council here, but it's, you know, similar kind of a thing. I totally respect Dylan's decision on that. I think he made the right decision in taking Carissa instead of me. So yeah, we're good, and I really enjoyed playing with Dylan and Carissa and everyone today, but I played the most with them. Big Brother's not my jam. I've never watched a single episode of the CBS show. You know, it's close enough to something like Survivor where it's interesting to me still, but it's just not my jam. But I wanted to come back up here to be able to play with some of the people that I met during Survivor Colorado, and also to meet some new people who I'd seen on some of the past shows but hadn't had a chance to meet yet. I'll be back at least one more time, if not 2 more times here, because I'm loving these competitions, and maybe there is a way to crack into the final 3 or the finals, sitting before the jury at some point. That even though people are still going to view me as a massive threat because I once again made it all the way to the end of this game, just about, the relationships built were strengthened. There were new ones built today. It's really cool, and I'm excited about that outside of the game, but I'm also excited about that inside of the game.
Dylan, Carissa, you have made it as far as you can possibly make it in Big Brother, but now the power shifts to the jury, the people you had a hand in, indirectly or not, voting out throughout the day. They will each go in elimination order and stand up and ask questions or comments or anything they would like to say to you, and then after that we will vote for the winner. That being said, we'll go to you guys, just make some opening statements, and then we'll go around and ask questions and everything. So here we go, guys. Final tribal.
It feels really good to be here, and honestly, I would be so content with like 2nd place. That's so cool. I would have been content with 3rd place. I would have been content with 4th. I didn't really have a plan going in, but it feels so nice to sit here and to be one of the few girls who made it after it was like a bunch of boys in me later on, and you know, to be a 2 or 3 time champ would be kind of cool. I've done a lot today, and I've had so much fun, and I think I put up a fight, but also tried to keep at least somewhat moral while I did it. And the rest is up to you.
Just wanted to start off by saying anything I said or did or anything in this competition, it was purely gameplay based. I really love all of you. You guys are like a second family to me. And anything that happened was just my will and my want to win this game. I've been trying for 2.5 years, and I've been unsuccessful, and it's always been a goal of mine, and I'm just so happy I got to play with you guys, no matter what your vote is, and no hard feelings.
The power now shifts to the jury.
Should have had a spread here.
Tessa, since you were the first person to vote out, you will go first, and you can just ask a question to either of them, or make a comment, or do whatever you want. Just stand up and address them.
So, I think you guys were both pretty loyal to me.
Okay.
I don't know. I just want to ask you guys, why do you think one of you should win over the other?
I had positioned myself in a point where it would be really hard to vote me out, and I had made really strong bonds, in my opinion, with a lot of people that they didn't want to break. And Carissa's even said, like before this, like I wanted to work with you even when like you're a strong threat or this or that. I think I did a really good job at like implying a strategy I wanted to use in having meat shields. One big reason I stayed with Andrew is because he's just such a big threat, and I trust you probably about like 15% of the time. A lot of my game was just positioning myself in an area that it would be really hard to vote me out, or it would be really hard to like get me into like want to vote me out. And I think that's why I'm sitting here right now.
I can expand upon that. I like hearing you go first because I can think a lot. Okay, but so we played very similar games. I guess in the sense that Dylan thought he was always trying to. In the first half, Dylan was trying to put himself in a position to be safe, whereas in the second half, I was very much trying to put myself in a position to be safe. You know, there were constantly votes where it was like Matthew or Dylan, either one wins, and I know they're taking me to the final two. Or it was like me and Riley. If one from the Ian-Matthew alliance wins, we go with that alliance. If one from the JANAE-Dylan alliance wins, we go with that alliance. I had to make a lot of decisions on the fly and make a lot of bonds I never expected to make and go out of my comfort zone because so many curveballs were thrown at me. Like, these three boys right here, I would have never expected to get as close as I did with you.
I just want to disagree with the statement that you put yourself in a position that you were always safe. I mean, there was multiple points where it was you or somebody else going home, whereas with me, the only times I was really ever at risk is when I was with Andrew on the block, where I had my power to save me and I knew he was guaranteed going home. And when I was at Final 5, where Riley and you guys had flipped on JANAE and I, Riley and you had flipped on JANAE and I was never in a position where I needed to win, because that Final 5 drinking, that veto, I didn't have to win, because at that point I was with Carissa and Matt, and I had positioned myself where I was like on the block once, right? Like if we're not counting where like mandatory blocks go. So I disagree that you were never in danger, and I try and say that I was always in a point where I wasn't in danger, and that I had people's trust, and that I can get people's votes.
I think you guys both played really well. I appreciate your enthusiasm, and yes, you both included me when I was a newbie, so I appreciate that. I think my biggest question would be, what was your biggest regret of the day? Because I know your plans changed, so that's my question.
Honestly, my biggest regret is getting too invested in the challenges and really letting it get to my head. And I don't know, I think every play I made I'm proud of. And even if it, was scary for some people or hurt some people, I'm proud of every single play I made. I just think I worried too much when, in the end, if I would have gotten 5th, it would have been fine. And I worried too much. I should have just chilled out and enjoyed the time, because it's almost over and I can't even believe that.
Okay, I guess my biggest regret would be not necessarily making connections with people and going back on them, but not making connections with some people, because I never really connected with you. I know we didn't really have time to, and I know you know Carissa, but one of my biggest regrets would be not making connections with everybody, because that was one of my big flaws in my previous seasons, is that I would stick with some people and I would just go ride or die. So I apologize for that, and that's probably my biggest regret in the game.
All right, my turn. I'm not gonna stand.
That's the Andrew, man.
So, my question, I'm gonna ask you the question. Listen to your answer. I'm gonna re-ask you the question. you're gonna answer, okay?
Okay.
So, Carissa, why should Dylan lose instead of you? And I don't want to hear any positive aspects of your own game, only negative aspects of Dylan's game.
I'm not being positive. I just think that it's hard to pick a negative aspect when he's made it this far. Like, holy crap, man knows what he's doing. What can I say? Everything he's done is right. He's this far. He's won so many challenges. But I would also say that Dylan didn't talk to enough people, or started talking to people later. I guess, like with Ian and Riley and Matthew.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, we sort of had an alliance. Andrew,
I
Riley,
didn't know who you were talking to. I'm kind of guessing. Okay, sure, not align with and not getting to know Emma and Tessa well enough because they were so early on.
Okay. All right, Dylan, I'm gonna ask you this question so I get my screen time.
Okay.
Dylan, why should Carissa lose instead of you?
Okay.
I don't want to hear any positive aspects of your own game, just negatives of Carissa.
Am I allowed to make a counter argument to what she said after I say?
No, just drag her.
Okay. Carissa was in danger a lot, and there was a lot of points in the game where she could have went home, and the only deciding factor was out of her control. And I think that's a big part of Big Brother, is being in control of the game, because when you're in control and people don't know it, it's so powerful because you're not labeled as a threat, but you also can make the decisions that get you here to where Chris and I are sitting now. I think you're a bit impetuous sometimes, and you try and think 20 steps ahead, whereas you need to be thinking the next 1 to 2 votes. You just have a lot going on in your brain.
Downfalls, I thought too far ahead.
And I mean, obviously it worked for you, or you just had really good people around you. But yeah, I'd say that's 2 of the things that are super negative about your game.
Those are fair.
All right, thank you guys.
For each of you, which player do you think you screwed over the most? Whether it was one play that absolutely cost them the game, or it was one person that you just kept constantly bullying throughout the round?
Okay, for me, I guess it would be Andrew and Riley. Starting with Andrew, that advantage, I didn't tell anybody until I told you. I didn't tell anybody the true power of that advantage, just to not put a target on my back, because I thought it was such a neat advantage in the game that it could put a target on my back, so that's why I lied about that. But I screwed you over with that, and with Riley, I sort of intentionally screwed you over in a way, because you admitted to me that you just gave me a lot of information after that JANAE vote off, to where, I mean, you said you were voting Matt out at 4, and that there was no way that you were taking either of us, and I used that against you in a way, so that's why we made that counter alliance of Carissa, Matt, and I against you two. And I guess I technically screwed you by winning that, but I didn't even need to win that drinking one, because at that point you were already probably going home. 3 people come to mind, but they're super quick, so it's fine. Ian, I put you up as a pawn a lot, and we were all in agreement when we did it, whatever 4 alliance we're in, but we constantly put you up as a pawn. Kind of feel bad. It worked out fine, you made Final 4, but we used you were our pawn a lot. We knew you were safe, but still. Okay, JANAE, because when it came down to it, it was because we knew that Dylan wasn't competing next round. For me and Riley, at least the way we saw it, Ian and Matthew had more tricks up their sleeve, and we were just safer. And you didn't deserve that. There was nothing you did wrong in your play to do that. It was just a bunch of weird pulls. I don't know. I feel like that sucks for you because you played so well, and that was such a curveball. But the final third one is Dylan. I think by voting out JANAE, and also by not trusting him when I should have trusted him on not conspiring with Andrew, I probably made things a little bit harder in this game than it could have been for the 2 of us, but we have this epic, we are the boys. We have this epic, unbreakable bond that we will make it to the final 2. We'll make it together, no matter what has to happen. But I do think I probably made things harder in our 2 alliance. And I think that was sort of a disadvantage to your game, because I think my play with getting with you and Matt has sort of helped me, because that play at Final 5, when you guys had a Final 4 pact together, you 4 had a Final 4 pact, and you doing that has actually helped my game so much, because I was able to go to Matt, and go to you, and make that counter alliance.
I only have one question for Carissa, because I know why Dylan wants to win. I know how hard he's worked before the game and during the game. I have his full trust, so I understand why I would vote for him. But can you tell me why I should vote for you over somebody that I've had trust with for a long time?
I don't know. I genuinely think I played a better game than him. And I wish I could drag him the same way he drags me, because man just knows me and all of my flaws, and I just don't think about people like that. I just see everyone in such a positive light. But, what was I saying? I think I played a better game. He keeps saying that, well, he was never on the block, so he was safer, but I trusted those people to not put me out when they put me on the block. Except for the one time with Andrew Curveball, we don't talk about it. But also, I only got 2 points. Second point is, I don't know. I don't know if I could convince someone like you who's trusted Dylan for so long to vote for me. It's up to you.
So this is for both of you. Just describe like what your gameplay style was. Were you like a hero, a villain? Like what kind of gameplay did you? Would you go into like chaos or like what was your total like character of the season?
I'd say I'm not quite villain-esque yet, but I had changed my gameplay a lot. Like I said, in Survivor 3, I trusted a certain group of people, and I isolated myself off from other people. And I think that's a very hero thing to do, but I don't think it's a smart thing to do, because I didn't have connections with those other people, and it eventually got me voted out. But this time around, I was all over the board. I was talking to almost everybody that was in a position of power, at least every round, and they had my trust, or they had what at least I think was my trust, which was probably a little sketchy to see me running around the place, but it didn't ever put me on the block. And I think I did it in a very great way.
I don't know, maybe like a chaotic neutral. I'd say I played super similar as I played in Survivor Season 2. Because I tried playing different from that in Big Brother and it didn't work. And that is, except this time, instead of it being me and Dylan and Hannah and Dylan and Jules, and I flip to whatever side I want when it benefits me, it was me and Riley and Ian and Matthew and JANAE and Dylan. I was constantly in this place of like, playing both sides of the house and self-preservation, and I made a lot of choices I didn't want to make because I wanted that trust and I trusted the people around me, and I made a lot of loyalty moves. Like I didn't want to put my knife in Riley's back and I didn't want to put my knife in Janae's back, but I knew that if I was the only one who didn't do what the rest of the group said they were going to do, it would look like I was unloyal, and I wanted to have that trust between you guys. So kind of played the whole field, but also kind of morally, I don't know.
I'm not very good at questions, so Wait. I'm not very good at questions. You all took a lot of them. So, what do you think about the people passed out behind me?
Oh, it's my turn to start first. Okay, I have so much to say. What the frick, Alex? Okay, not even gonna lie. Like, the two that are still here are some of my closest friends. But they also had a lot to say in some of the challenges, and I just think that was such a weird wild card, and it was a lot of subjective things they had a say in. And my close relationship with them, you'd think it would benefit me. But it didn't. I couldn't win the singing challenge because you're her boyfriend, you can't vote that. And also Cade hates me for some reason, I don't know, that was a whole thing. And I mean, I was cool with Matthew winning. I mean, man was super expressive and also I trusted him not to kill me. But then also, I don't know, personally thought I had the coolest Lego thing. I tied it back into Big Brother, I absolutely failed the improv round. Improv round, all Matthew, that was a mess, God the Grinch. My point is, I don't know, I think they should have majorly affected the game if I wasn't as safe as I was. There were so many times where me winning could have been a game changer if I didn't have so many trust in the people around me, but they negatively impacted me anyways, so I don't know, they were just game shakers, that's all I can say, they were game shakers.
Okay, I guess the Ice King and Queen who are currently, they're not asleep. They have like both a positive and negative impact on my game. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have gone home over Andrew if I didn't have that power, but the fact that I did have that power positively impacted my game. Whereas negatively, I know Carissa said that there wasn't there was no apparent bias, and I even won a challenge with those guys, but I think my opinion was well known that I don't think that a non-anonymous challenge should go down, especially when, you know, Cade, put that in the word.
Are you saying my Sharknado wasn't the best?
I'm gonna be honest, no it wasn't.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, do you want me to go get paper towels?
No, it's not.
Okay. Oh, one last really quick thing. They also said that I couldn't win the singing challenge because I have a musical theater background, and that felt like such bogus because there's boys who are good at hockey or they're good at football, and so they can win the sumo challenges, and that's not unfair, but when I have a skill in something, it was unfair.
Sumo challenge.
And that's super, actually neither. The point being, that was so silly, and I didn't like that.
Congratulations to both of you guys. I'm really excited about the opportunity that I had to play with both of you. It's kind of a different storyline with each of you, like second season working with Dylan, and then first season getting to meet you and work with you. So thank you guys for helping me to play for as long as I got to, because that's what I wanted to do today, is play as long as I could. So anyways, congratulations to both of you. I'm really happy that you both are up there. It's the same question that I asked in the Survivor Season 3, because I just think it's an interesting question, and I told both of you, and I told many of you this throughout the day, that I was trying to play a game of loyalty and just being really straightforward and open and honest. So the question I want to ask both of you, I want you to give me your reasoning on why the other person should win. And I'm not just looking for what you're saying about like why they should win, all the gameplay, because we've heard about all of that, and I know about all that because I was in the longest besides you two, so I was there for a lot of that. But I want to see that you guys are genuinely trying to convince me that the other person should win. It's kind of one last thing of like, prove your genuineness here.
Okay, why Carissa should win? I agree with her in that she played a really similar game to her Survivor Season 2 game, and she did put herself in a pretty great position around 6 or 7 when she could go either way with you and Ian or Riley or Janae and I. She could go on either side of the house, and I'm guessing that side sort of includes Grant. Otherwise, she's just really great socially. Like I said, she can be impetuous, but that can also be like a pretty good thing, because it would be weird with other people wanting to work with you, and I think that's like really good for your allies to know, and that you're a really trustworthy person, and it shows because I've played with you like twice now where we've gotten to the end, and I've genuinely trusted you like that much, and I think you can get people to trust you like that, and I think that's a positive trait of your game.
Dylan he is such a Rockledge Studio trooper. Oh my god. He keeps coming in runner-up. And maybe it's his legacy. No, I'm kidding. But like, man has come in runner-up so many times, and he puts this all into his game, and I lost the word. And he's so good at the challenges, and yeah, he did. He put himself in a lot of safe places, and he also made a lot of bonds, and we played so similar. And like, also, I mean, I would want him to win just for how much he was loyal to me. How much every time he promised me something, he followed through on it. And even if like him and Andrew were talking a lot, he was honest to me about that. He's just such a genuine guy. And I could go on forever about why Dylan should win. Oh my gosh.
Dylan, Carissa, really quickly, final statements, final remarks. One last plea to this jury that why they should vote for you.
Every point in this game, if I had to make a decision that came down to backstabbing someone, I tried so hard to put it into somebody else's hands because I didn't want to do that, and I loved this Final Four, and I'd be so with this Final Four, I'd be so with this Final Two, or this Final Two, or this Final Two, or like even our girl gang that lasted for like 2 seconds. That would be epic. Like every single one of you, I can see a winner in, or like someone I took to Final Two, and I hope I tried to make that clear in my gameplay, and I tried to be honest and loyal with everyone, and there were very few times I lied. I've made such amazing bonds, I think they speak for themselves. I love you guys.
Okay, so I sort of said this in my opening statement, and have mentioned it through the game, is I've tried connecting with a bunch more people than I did in my previous seasons, and I think I did that. Never once when I was a part of somebody being voted out was I vicious, was I mean. I always went up to hug you if that means absolutely anything. It was all gameplay, and like I seriously love all of you, and I don't think that you should vote off of who you like, but who you think played the best game. But if it means anything that I was nice to you after you were evicted, or if I was just kind to you at some point during the game, or if I just trusted you when nobody else did, yeah, that would go massive ways.
After almost 16 hours, it has come down to this. Tessa, you will be going upstairs to the diary room. Actually, you will go into the Reign of Ice Kingdom to vote.
Alright.
Tessa, who do you vote to win?
I'm gonna vote for Dylan.
Emma, who do you vote to win?
Carissa.
I vote that Dylan should win. I feel like he played a more consistent game overall.
You vote to win.
Carissa.
Oh, hold it in, Phil.
Who do you vote to win?
Dylan.
Who do you vote to win, Big Brother?
I'm voting for Dylan to win.
The reign of ice, the Ice Lords, shall bring in the votes. Jules, Chris, thank you guys for participating today. You guys are eternally the Ice King and Queen. So thank you guys for that. I will read the votes. The first vote coming from TESSA. Dylan.
Yay! Good clap.
The next vote coming from Emma. Carissa.
I'm gonna keep all of them.
From the Fleur de Mal himself, Andrew. Dylan.
Yes, Dylan.
From Riley, Carissa. So we are tied 2-2. Grant has voted for Dylan.
It's a clarify space. It doesn't really know how it is. No.
Okay, Matthew voted for Dylan. And the winner of Big Brother Reign of Ice.
Genuinely, God, I'm so happy Dylan's won. Because he was telling me in the room, he was like, this is a pride thing for me. You know, if I can't win this competition when I've made it this far so many times, like, what can I? Like, can I even win any of Alex's competitions? And so, you know, afterward, I just felt this moment of, this means so much more to Dylan than it does to me. And I am so happy to play the sidekick to get him there. And I just like being a person for the people. I couldn't say bad things about Dylan, but I could say great things about everybody else. And, you know, 16 hours, mental trauma I'll never get back, but $20. On the slightly smaller side of things, a small part of me does feel like I really did give it my all. Like, I gave it 110% and it still wasn't good enough. But at the end of the day, still happy. That doesn't overpower how happy I am for Dylan. Yeah, I mean, I want to keep continuing doing these competitions as long as I can because this is so fun and this is such a rush for me. And, I don't know, kind of sucks that I didn't get the dub and I didn't get to say that I'm the only 2-time champion and I won Survivor Season 2 and Big Brother Season 2. I am the 2-2-2, technically 3-time champion if you're including, you know, the entirety of career. But that all sucks. But yeah, it kind of sucks that I didn't get the dub, but I still have the target on my back. Like, I basically got just as far as Dylan, but without, I don't know, the title. And so now I'm going to continue to play these games to try to win, but everyone knows my strategies and what I can do and how I feel, and makes me a little vulnerable, but whatever happens, happens. I'll deal with the curveballs, I'll just be happy to play. The tribe has spoken, yeah. Those were my 5 words before my death. And I like those 5 words.
I did it. After what, it's been like almost 2 years now of trying to do this thing that I like invested so much of my life into. I finally pulled it off and it feels amazing because it proves that I could do it. And I've been really close 2 times before this now, and arguably pretty close in Survivor 3. And after a bit, it just starts to add up, and tonight's gonna be the first night after a competition I sleep. After every competition, the paranoia in this game, it just starts to add up, and just winning releases that weight off of you so much. And there's nothing like Big Brother because it's arguably more strategic and you have to be more sociable than Survivor. And I think it's just a great game to really test out your mental willpower and your and your ability to make connections with people and see if those connections are genuine. When I heard the winner and I knew that I had won, it was incredible. It was like just like this incredible like bliss that just like hit me, like I did it. I finally achieved this thing that I've been trying to do for years. I don't want to be a 2-time winner. I'd love to come back and play, but I genuinely, if I would take Matt or Andrew to a final 2 just because I feel like this moment is so, it's just so enjoyable that I feel like a lot of people, a lot of great players like myself should get to experience it. If you're a fan, if you're a longtime fan, this has been recorded. Season 2 of Survivor was just released, and I lost that one very narrowly. But if you've stuck around through these seasons, especially my season 3 fluke, I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. If you've been a fan of me specifically, I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching this season of Big Brother Colorado.
Yeah, in about 2 years, we will see this video.
Thank you for watching. As you probably noticed, this season took longer to release than usual. It was undoubtedly our toughest season to make. But your continued support is what kept us going, and from now on, we promise to have more consistent videos coming. But first, we'd like to wish you all a happy holidays, and please enjoy a special look at our biggest and best competition coming next year.
You better be ready, it's coming for you. The fire is burning, and when this is through, one soul will survive. It's coming for you.
For our 8th Colorado competition, we're bringing 16 of the best to ever play back to the game.
2 years ago, I was a junior in high school, and now I'm a sophomore in college. If I get voted out first again, I'm just going to leave the planet. I think I have no other choice but that.
Reveal!
It's definitely exciting, and I definitely want to be the winner.
Push it, baby, let's go! It's the hat! It's the hat!
I want to be crowned like the King of Survivor. I think that'd be really cool.
They'll face off in the most dangerous challenges. Battle it out on the edge of extinction, and play for the biggest cash prize they've ever been offered.
How about $200?
I'm already coming up with a more villainous strategy.
Maybe heroes don't always have to win.
This is the Super Bowl of Survivor Colorado. I intend to be the last man standing this season.
Premieres in spring.